Alright, so today I want to take another look at the Boss Acoustic Simulator and what's available within the Line 6 HX Stomp already that can do kind of the same things that I was covering yesterday. So it's in there, it's just kind of hidden in kind of a strange spot. But if you go to load a effect in here and you go to EQ, mono, and then the very lowest one right there is going to be the Acoustic Simulator. So you'll see that the control layout is very similar to the AC-2, where you have the modes. You have standard, jumbo, enhanced, and piezo kind of all in a row there. Then you have the body top. On the next page over you have shimmer and then the level. Now the shimmer, that's not a control on the AC-2, but I looked up the AC-3, the next one above this, and it actually does have a reverb knob, kind of like sharing the spot with the level there. So that's, I guess, a difference there. This is probably more modeled off of the AC-3, but still pretty close to it. So let's do this. Let's just kind of play through what we have here. So you have the standard mode, and the body and top are set all the way up. The shimmer is kind of low, and the level is at unity. And I guess before I do this, let's show the clean tone. So I'm just going to assign that to the first foot switch real quick. There's my clean tone. I'm using my Telecaster in standard. So again, that's standard. Here's jumbo. Enhanced. See, it's still, even though it's got a little bit of the enhancement to it, it still stops pretty quick. It's pretty snappy. I probably want to add some reverb to it. In fact, if I bring up the shimmer, so that's interesting. It kind of rings out with the chords, but still pretty choppy. It doesn't like trail off or anything. I bet even with max, a lot of movement there, but stops very quickly. So that's interesting. It's the one thing that the AC-2 doesn't have built in that the 3 does. Let's do the very last mode, the piezo. Now, that's just hearing what this can do. I might do a quick comparison between these two. So I have my guitar plugged right into the HX Stomp, and then I'm using the left effects loop to plug into this and then return. So let's add that in here. So I'm going to put it right after this one. Just turn that off. All the way down to send and returns, mono, effects loop left. Just to show that it's still on there. And let's do this. I'm going to assign that to the same foot switch here. And let's just do our comparison like this. All the way back to standard mode. Put this on standard mode. Settings are pretty close there. So let's do this though. Let's turn the shimmer all the way down. All right. So that's the AC-2. This one here, I might need to adjust the volume. Bring that up just a little bit more. Okay. This one does seem like it's putting out a little bit more volume, I think. There's easy ways to boost that. So let's try the next mode here. Jumbo and jumbo. So that's the pedal. That's the HX Stomp. Let's try the next mode, enhanced. advanced. Okay, cool. And the last mode. That's the HX Stomp. That's the acoustic simulator pedal. So it feels like that there's a bit more volume coming off of this one, which you would think that straight up on this would be unity there on this, but this one's got it pretty high up there, and you can still boost it by 6 decibels, it looks like. So I'm sure that I could balance it out and get this kind of a little bit closer there, but I just kind of wanted to compare the two. So the acoustic simulator in this is pretty useful, and you can still do that routing sort of thing that I did in the other video, where I had this one plugged into its own DI, run to the mixer, and then also was going to the simplifier with an amp. So let's do that here. So I might move these blocks over here, and let's add an amp out here. So I don't usually go with the amp and cabs, but let's keep it kind of simpler here. And go with something. That's a bit different. In fact, I probably need to adjust the volume on that. So let's just go in there. Channel volume down, master volume down a little bit there. And also I need to do this too. So let's set it so that it's on this switch. There we go. And then also let's do this. Let's get rid of this one right here. Get rid of the effects loop. So just clear the block out. And then I'm gonna move this one over here. And let's do this. Let's assign it to the first switch instead of the second one. Okay. And I do have to have them toggled like that, where one's on, one's off. So by doing that, I'm bypassing the amp, kind of like what I was doing in the other videos. When one of them comes on, the other one goes off. It's not like I'm running the acoustic simulator into the amplifier like this. Now that is a different kind of tone, and if that's what you're going for, that would probably be how you would get it, but I would probably think that you're going to want to use the amp on its own and the acoustic simulator on its own there. Cool. So that's kind of what I was wanting to show, is just that you can do the same thing. You don't have to get something like this and run all the different routing options that I was showing. You can figure out a way to be able to include this. Let's just do a little bit more here while we got some time. So I'm going to drop this into the B path now. All right, and let's do this. Move it over here. And then I'm going to put that acoustic simulator right there. And this way I can run both of them at the same time. So let's see what that sounds like. And I've got them both on right now, so if I was to hit this switch, you know, if I touch it, you see it goes back and forth between them. But if I actually turn it off, it just goes to raw signal. So it's got the loudness, but it has that kind of shimmer in the background too. Let's change the mixer type though. Instead of a split Y where it's just kind of balanced, let's change that to an A-B split, and that way I can kind of balance the two of them out. So let's kind of lean a little bit more to the A side, which is going to be the acoustic simulator. So you still get the amp in there, but it's the acoustic is kind of winning. So Notice if I go like all 100% A path, the amp is in there, but it's not really showing up. Where does it start showing up? Right about there. So maybe you could pull it back. That's kind of cool. So that's the acoustic, but you still have just a little bit of electric. So like if you play a little real light, you're not going to hear it, but if you maybe dig in, it's still pretty just acoustic. Let's put it there. I feel like it's starting to get in there, but definitely about there. Cool. So let's maybe do one more thing real quick. This could be kind of interesting. Let's use the snapshots to kind of make like a layout of some different options here. So let's maybe do the A split somewhere around there where it's not going to be too crazy, and let's just keep everything the same for right now. And I'm gonna save just to be safe, but let's swap us into the snapshot mode there, right? And this will be like mode or snapshot 1. Then we'll make 2 kind of an even split here, and then we'll make the third snapshot. Oh, you know what I didn't do though? Something very important. So you have to hit these 2 page buttons to bring up the little menu, and we're going to say controller assign, and let's see, yeah, the route 2 we're going to assign to snapshot. All right, and now I'll see how it's kind of highlighted on, or a little bit brighter on the signal part there. So we're going to bring that down pretty low, and we can adjust this later if we like. Have that one be the even split, and then have the third side be primarily distortion. We probably don't need to go as high with it to make a difference. So let's run through these now. And that's without changing a single thing in the settings of those. I could go a little bit deeper, especially with the snapshots, and mix that around. But this is snapshot 1. Pretty much all acoustic, but with just a tiniest little bit of the amp in there. This is the even split. Mostly amp. Closer there. You can still hear some of the acoustic in there. And let's do this too. Let's maybe add a little bit of reverb just on that one channel. There we go. Now let's make it one of the legacy ones, and just a basic room. Let's see, what if we put the room on the other side of this? To me, that sounds better than the reverb just being on the acoustic. Even on the first snapshot, I just don't know that that sounds as good. So let's move it over here. So I think both signal paths sharing the reverb makes a little bit of a difference there. Let's go to the next one. All right, I'll go ahead and wrap this one up. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of other options that I could run through here, but I just kind of wanted to show off that, if you wanted to get the type of setup that I was doing the other day, where I'm running this one to an amplifier and into a DI box, you can do essentially that same thing internally within the HX Stomp, and I'm sure some other products that are out there as well now. So I'll go ahead and wrap this one for today, but thanks for checking it out, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks.